It's Insidious. It's Insidia. It's developed by Bad Seed, developed on Unity, and it's a free-to-play game. It's very rare that we get one of these on the CHAIRQASITION, but there is a paid component, and the lovely, lovely developers from Bad Seed did deign to give us a copy of the Unlock Everything pack. So what is it? Insidia is a tactical game of turn-based duels. Carefully move your team of powerful champions and wave their attacks together to claim victory in the field of battle. Conquer your foes and claim the spoils of a post-apocalyptic world. This is a CHAIRQASITION. This is where we take a game. Sometimes the developer sends it to us. Sometimes, oh god, that's terrifying. Sometimes we buy it ourselves. But we break it down. We give you the facts of, does it launch? Does it perform at 1080p? How are the graphics and the controls? And we give it a score from 1 to 4 chairs based on that. And then we also break it down in the fun section. We say whether or not we like the game, and we assign it an arbitrary score of 1 to 4 chairs as well. 1 chair means that's garbage. 2 chairs means that's meh. 3 chairs means it's pretty good. 4 chairs means that's awesome. That's the rules. So let's kick it off. Ven, Insidia, did it work?
How did it run on the Ubuntu 1804? Check it out, man. It launches. It does its thing. I got a 980 powering this business. That old crusty thing. So performance at 1080p, that's what it launched at. That's what I tested it at. It's a solid 60. It does windowed. It does full screen. Nothing exploded. Did not say disparaging remarks about my mother. It thought about it, but it didn't verbalize them. And with the controls, really, this is point and click, 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 click. Keyboard shortcuts, they work. They're on screen. They're easy. They're available. Clean bill of health. 4 chairs right out of that box.
Yeah, on Fedora 28 64-bit with the i7 6700K and the GTX 1080 Ti, it certainly does launch. It'll hold 60 FPS at 1080 with a little bit of herky-jerky at the beginning of the match. If you knock off VSync, which you should anyways if you're on Linux, it can get you about 49 FERPs on the UHD, which is not terrible, but it maintains that. Sometimes it'll knock itself up to 50. It's okay. Graphics wise, I mean, it looks fine. There's no artifacting or anything. It looks like a game. You can see what's going on. It's clear so that you can, play the game. So good on that. And control wise, yeah, you click your mouse, WASD for the camera movement, and there's some hotkeys, quir and 1, 2, 3, 4 for your abilities and people respectively. Yeah, give it 4 chairs.
Yep, and over here on Solus, running on the Ryzen 5 1600 and the GTX 1080, it held around 50 at UHD. You really want to disable the VSync if you're playing it on Linux.
You get 30 at UHD
it's
if
30.
You have VSync on.
Yeah, it's really annoying. But at 1080 it held way past 60 without issues. That was all good. The graphics, the characters all look like they're from the same breed. It's like they all share some parent, but they look all right. And the sounds, I guess they're there, but they also work. And controls, you just have to be careful about where you click, because sometimes you will hover over a spot where you want to move a character and the little tile won't light up. That's because you're hovering over one of the UI elements. So it won't register that click. So you have to carefully move it slightly out of the UI. There we go. And that'll work. So no complaints from me. 4 chairs.
So there you go. Pedro, who fully advocates eugenics, as we heard previously, gives 4 chairs. That's score for Makes with Working. Looks like regardless on what you play it on, it will do you good. Now for fun. Yay! Then do you have fun?
Fuck you. No, I didn't. Yeah, I really didn't. It's free to play. It's turn-based. Turn-based games can die in a fire. I'm sorry, they're not my jam, but because I love everyone at home, it's like this is going to be the one that changes my mind, right? I kind of thought the simultaneous turn thing, that'd be kind of neat. Nope, it's not. It's not enough. If you're wondering about that, you plan your move, they plan your move, and it's basically one move, and then you hit play, see what happens. Okay. It is very simple. I mean, to the point where I understand what's going on, old man Ven. It's like, oh, okay, I get this. All right, that's stupid and boring, because I don't like it. Not the game itself, the entire genre. It's not ugly. It's simple to pick up. I mean, it's very much casual, I would say. But I think Jordan and Pedro, in the pre super shows, and we're talking, it was like, well, you're gonna my eyes glossed over. It is priced to sell. It's completely free. But I'm going to reiterate, I mean, if the genre is not your business, this is not going to be the one that changes your mind. You can try it. It's completely free. The DLC clocking at $34.98 is it's available. But I do want to point out is you're going to probably have to play this in forever alone mode, ? More on that probably from Jordan and Pedro. But yes, pass on that one, Chairman.
So the game is a little bit convoluted. There's a lot of moving parts because, yeah, you can only move one unit a turn. Each unit has like a passive thing that it will do regardless, and that can be like shooting people, moving people. It can be a conditional trigger. And yeah, like Ven said, everyone puts their moves in at the same time, and you hit resolve, and you see what happens. So you can like predict and dodge people if you're one of those types. And honestly, the most effective strategy I found is literally just try and hold the center as much as possible or stall until you have... Okay, so let me rewind. This is basically turn-based Dota. You want to make it to the other end of the map so you can kill the enemy's ancient, and that's it. That's how you win the game. And eventually, after characters resurrect enough times, eventually you can just gain access to the enemy stronghold, in which case, if you have a guy who can just make a beeline... That's it. That's the game.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what you try, it's always going to revolve around that. And I think that also has to do with the roster of heroes that you have, because there are a couple really good ones. The Wolfman, the guy who actually has hit points more, who can survive more than a single attack, and the poison guy and the gun chick are really the best. If you're not using them in your team, you're going to fail. And I really feel like this game could benefit from a much larger roster of heroes with some more varied strategies that actually work with the gameplay that the game is trying to convey. Because a lot of the heroes just suck. They're not good. They're for a specific type of strategy that is not the dominant strategy here, and so you will end up wasting your time playing them. Of course, I'm saying this is all against the AI, because as was mentioned before, no one's actually fucking playing this game online. So for a free-to-play MOBA, yeah, that doesn't really bode too well for it. I like the gameplay well enough, actually. I thought it was perfectly fun. But that's really about it. There's definitely some improvements that it sorely needs that it's not gonna get because no one's playing it. So I'm gonna give this 2 chairs. It's a valiant effort, but yeah. Pedro?
Yeah, I too like the gameplay, but the biggest problem with this online tactical duel game is that no one else is playing it. And the reason that no one is playing it is because there's one winning strategy. It's not about tactics, it's about the characters you play. You stick to that formation and you stick to it for dear life. It's like Jordan already mentioned. You get the dude with the HP, you get the chick with the gun that deals a ton of damage, you get the little poisony guy, and you get the little move around guy. Those 4 are basically the winning team. There's no way the AI can beat you. And, well, that's about all the AI can do is just lose to you. And there's really no way to tell whether or not that would be different if it was against other players, because there's just no one else. And, but, you know, I have a sneaking suspicion that it wouldn't be very different. The game hasn't had any updates since May, and without any updates, there's no meta shift, there's no new characters, there's no rebalancing of abilities, there's nothing. So there's nothing to keep it interesting. And that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate because, like Jordan, I didn't mind the mechanics at all. But right now, the game is stuck in a vicious cycle of nope. The devs won't update the game because no one's playing it. Players won't return to the game because it's not getting updated. Rinse, repeat.
And also no one's playing it.
Yes. So, yeah, no. For me, it gets 1 chair because as it currently stands, it's not fun at all. Once you figure out how to beat the AI, that's all you need to do.
That's really all you can do. All right. Yeah. So that's it. That's our thoughts on Insidia. We got any closing remarks before we move on to the hate mail?
Maybe if we all get together, we could play against each other, right? No?
Yeah.
Maybe.
we'll be the only ones playing it. We'll have a infinity % boost of the average players according to Steam charts, because the average for this game is 0.
The infinity %. That
Someone flung calculus. That's fine.